point for you, by the way, looking at the beautiful Weather Channel headquarters.
Our building, very fantastic. Hey, let's go to Dr. Postel, because Dr. Postel, you got some good news for us that we will be changing the pattern in a big way.
Yeah, warming is on the way for many across the country, and especially in the Mid-South, like, for example, in Nashville. Let's have a look at the numbers we've got over the next 10 days. This is going out quite far. But I did that because I want to show you that it's not just 1 or 2 days coming down the road that are going to look pretty good. It's quite a few of them. So starting off today, yeah, it's cold. You got some snow on the ground nearby. But as we go through the next weekend and, yeah, really next weekend, gosh, we're still in the mid-60s. But it's not just Nashville. This is going to be spread out over quite a wide area in the United States. And the reason why, or at least one of them, is the jet stream has got a very peculiar shape to it right now, just upstream across parts of the Pacific. I see a lot of westerly wind coming in here, and what that's going to do is share the wealth from all the warmth that's been out here in the west, and it's going to bodily move that to the east, and gradually we'll see that jet stream move in time through late next week. And there you go, it will allow much warmer times to come across the lower 48, keeping much of the Arctic air bottled up in Canada. And there's a lot of confidence surrounding that. I put a lot of wiggles on here to show you that the ensemble members from the ECMWF model, little tweaks to the model run over and over again, are kind of showing the same thing. So they're all doing the same thing, giving you a lot of confidence right up in here that that's where the jet stream is going to be, likely leaving much of the lower 48 for the next week in relatively mild conditions. It's not ballistically warm, no doubt, in the north, but it's a lot better than it's been over the last month, essentially. Look at some of these numbers for next Thursday, and you can also take it into next Friday as well.
All right, sounds good to me. But you know what, we've got this to talk about.
It felt like that when we hit the ground.
And it wasn't until the plane came to a stop that all of a sudden you're like, holy cow, we just skidded off a runway. I mean, it was just, you know, it's kind of a surreal experience.
You saw it here as breaking news yesterday. A plane skids off a runway at a busy New York airport. Luckily, though, no one was seriously hurt.
Yeah, now the investigation kicks into high gear. Reagan Medji following the latest on this incident from LaGuardia in New York City. And Reagan, I read an interesting thing that I didn't know before, which is that they have a special vehicle that goes down the runway and checks to see if the braking is going to be okay for landing. I did not know they did that during the snow.
Yeah, so, you know, that in addition to a lot of other things is going to be revealed in facts and figures of what happened exactly yesterday when that Delta Flight 1086 veered off the runway shortly after landing, arriving from Atlanta. This is what happens when you have a live interview. Sorry about that. All right, so basically what happened at this point, the NTSB will be arriving with 2 teams in New York today. One team is going to be inspecting, like what you said, Keith, everything on the ground, where the plane landed, the speed, the braking, and all of that. Another team with the NTSB will be interviewing the pilots and the passengers on that flight, Delta Flight 1086, to kind of figure out exactly what happened and put the puzzle piece together. Now, NBC's Stephanie Goss spoke with one of the passengers on that plane, a passenger that was sitting in the emergency row section.
Are you ready and prepared to help people out of the plane?
I absolutely was.
Terrific. So people, you were like filing people up. Were there little kids on board?
There were a couple of parents traveling with their kids, and everybody took great care of everybody getting off the plane.
So about 24 injuries, nothing life-threatening. And I also want to make mention that the NTSB will be looking at the black boxes. They're going to be examining those black boxes in their Washington lab, and hopefully we'll have a little bit more of an understanding of exactly what happened. Keith?
All right, thank you, Reagan. And obviously, we had some pretty good snowfall there. Let's take a look at these snowfall total. 7 inches in New York City, New Bedford, Massachusetts, South Shore, Massachusetts, right about here, coming in with 10 inches of snow up through the Cape as well. In through Maryland, 9 inches. And in D.C., National Zoo coming in at 5 inches of snow. Philadelphia, 7.5. So pretty much on forecast. The only overperformer really right in the New Bedford area. Again, southern parts of Massachusetts, southern Rhode Island, and Connecticut. But Reagan, certainly, you know, LaGuardia is a place that deals with more snow than this. Is there any sense that there was something else, like you said, the investigation going on, other than the weather at play here?
You know, we spoke with an expert yesterday. He is the founder of NYCaviation.com, and he works in the airlines along with a bunch of other of his coworkers. And he says right now they're going to look at everything. You can't really say it's pilot error.